So I took this trade pre-market. I don't have the microphone on because I was responding to an email that someone had sent me yesterday. And he was asking me to explain my entries a little bit better. So I thought this was a easy trade to explain. You got the volume profile there. You had the volume area high, the volume area low, which is the light blue dotted lines. They're a little faint. You can see one just below my entry there. So the reason I got in this trade is we're ranging back and forth in that volume profile, and it's fairly balanced, meaning you have the same amount on top, the same amount on bottom, your midlines right in the middle where it should be. And you can see right there is the midline, and then that's also the POC for the volume profile. So the move prior to this one to the upside, you can see we broke above the 2300 and we were rejected. So when that pushed back down, it went all the way down to that volume area low, right where it was supposed to. So I didn't assume that this next attempt was going to break over that 2300. So I shorted it right there. So my first target is that POC in the middle. And then my final target will be that, where the target's at 289.50 there. So in this type of trade, I wouldn't look for it to continue lower. And I definitely wouldn't want it to continue higher. So I do have the hard stop up there at 301.25. That's just to get me above that 2300. So I'm kind of using that as a buffer zone. You can see how the volume profile cuts out up there too. I'm just waiting, and I'm actually responding and typing his email and kind of have this off to the side so I can keep an eye on it. I'll let this play so you can watch the price action. And I'm in a trade right now, so I'm watching that and trying to talk through this trade at the same time. So there we're starting to move towards the middle. At a certain point here, I turn off my brackets, and then go down to 1 so that I can take one contract there in the middle. So at this point, the trade's moving exactly what I expected. So it looks good. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see future videos of how I trade market profile and volume profile. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. So that volume area, what that is 70% of the entire volume from that profile that you see right there. So that kind of gives you some boundaries to trade within. You know, it's not perfect, but it gives you, like if you're down at the bottom, it gives you a target to the upside. And if you're at the top like I am, it gives you a target to the downside. And we're pretty much to that middle point. That's your POC and your midpoint of the entire profile. So there you see me take one. I'm making the adjustments now. When you do these adjustments manually, you want to make sure you flatten out of this trade because like extra orders aren't linked together anymore. So they'll still be in the market. So you need to flatten that trade. I try to remind everybody of that because if that order gets left in there and you forget about it, and it's up above the screen that you're looking at, it'll, it'll put you in the market if you forget about it. So here I'm just waiting to see if we can get through this POC. I've got my stop in here to protect me if I want to, so I don't take a loss on this at this point. There's no reason why this should be all the way back up here. If we do have a reaction off this area and it makes its way back up here, there's a good chance it is going to try to move higher. So I'd want to be out of this trade. You can see it's not hardly having a reaction at all here. So kind of the way that I look at it is, you know, it's moving up and down. It's probably going to keep moving up and down until it does something to show you that something has changed. Like if it bounces off this VWAP, halfway point POC here. But until then, you just assume that it's going to keep doing what it's been doing. See, it's taking some time to grind through here, but it's not bouncing, so that's good. If it um, came here and started bouncing up, working its way back up, you'd want to close out of this. Still no reason to get out of this. Working a little lower. Next area you're going to want to look at is this next low here. I don't have it zoomed in enough so you can't see the letters, but it's this next low that's coming up. Target is this 289.50. The red line here that it's kind of at right now, that's the low from yesterday. You do want to watch that, but it's kind of associated. I grouped that all together with the halfback POC, and you can see how flat that VWAP is. So you're not really paying attention to the VWAP. You just know that it's there. If you got some kind of reaction off it, then like I said, you'd want to be out of that trade because it really shouldn't be reacting to that. Sometimes the pre-market or overnight moves a lot slower. You just got to be prepared for that. There's no reason to get out of this trade. It's working. It's just working slow. At this point, I'm glancing over and looking at that next low. Like I said, if we can break past that, it should take us right to our target. And then you can see that volume area low, the light blue dashed line. That's the ultimate target, but I always try to front run those areas. We're getting a little closer to that low. Get to it. There's the break. As long as we don't get a big snap out of this, we're fine. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see future videos of how I trade market profile and volume profile. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. 2 more ticks. That'll take us out. There would obviously be nothing wrong with just taking it, at any one of these levels. These aren't hard targets. It took you out. And it actually does go quite a bit farther down to that next node, but then it bounces right back. That's why you just have in your head with the volume area high and low, those are kind of your targets or your approximate targets. So hope everybody had a good trading week, and we'll see you Monday.